Hello everyone, I just recently learned of some news that is sending some frauditors into a total freaking fit. State Senator Nathan Dahm authored Senate Bill 1837, which seeks to avoid potential abuse of the freedom of the press. Under the proposed requirements, anyone who works for a media outlet would need to submit to criminal background checks and quarterly drug tests. That would pretty much eliminate all frauditors, but unfortunately it's only for the state of Oklahoma. Let's take a closer look. This is Nathan Dahm, whom I suspect will be the newest victim of frauditor hatred, which will undoubtedly include death threats and call flooding. Let's see this proposed bill. As introduced, an act relating to media outlets, creating the Common Sense Freedom of Press Control Act, providing short title, stating purpose, requiring licensure for certain individuals and companies, providing requirements for licensure, defining terms, providing for promulgation of rules, authorizing corporation commission to provide licensure, and providing an effective date. Letter A states, to ensure the safety of the general public and avoid potential abuse of the freedom of the press, any media outlet that includes opinions at any time in its print, broadcast, or other means of distribution shall do each of the following before any articles, stories, opinions, news, videos, or other media are distributed to the public. I'll let News Now Lisa explain more of this in her own words.
An Oklahoma Republican wants to require journalists to get licenses, take drug tests. All right, so this guy right here, Nathan Dahm, D-A-H-A-H-M. He is a Oklahoma Republican, and on Wednesday, he's an Oklahoma State senator. He's proposed a bill that would require journalists to submit to drug tests, take courses in being propaganda free, and get a license from the state. This has got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. Like, you came up with this shit? Like, nah, this ain't gonna pass. This ain't gonna pass. I'm gonna tell you right now, Oklahoma's always trying to pull some shit like this. When I first started cop watching, they were trying to make it illegal to film the police or where they live. You weren't allowed to film. I'll look that up in just a second. But the Senate Bill 1837, called the Common Sense Freedom of Press Control Act. Any media outlet that includes opinions at any time in its print, broadcast, or other means of distribution shall do each of the following before any articles, stories, opinions, news, videos, or other media are distributed to the public. I don't see it happening. I don't think so. They must complete a criminal background check. For what? To be an independent journalist? Get the out of here. Receive a license from the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, which regulates public utilities in the state. Complete a propaganda-free safety training course of no less than 8 hours as prescribed by the State Department of Education, which shall be developed in coordinates with PragerU, which is a right-wing advocacy group known for distorting U.S. history and promoting climate change denial. Listen to this one. Have liability insurance of at least $1 million. This has got to be a joke. And last but not least, submit to a drug testing every quarter. The Oklahoman, the newspaper, suggests legislation probably won't become law. Of course it's not. Why would they even print this? Don't get me going, man. This shit's been bugging me.
She's more than likely correct. I don't see it passing. But if News Now Lisa is so sure of it not passing, why is it bugging her so much? Maybe because she knows that the Frauditor's time in the sun of harassing people to make YouTube money may one day, maybe very soon, be coming to an end, and all Frauditors will have to get a job. I'll now switch over to what Firm Audits has to say about this topic.
This is Nathan Dom. All right. He is a Republican. He is homeschooled. His legislative experience is Senate. I can't read that. I apologize, guys. But from 2012 to the present, his hometown is Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and his occupation, get this, is a software developer. Sorry. Also, I don't know. I can't blow this up, I don't think. I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But there's his phone number. Is in that little square. And then there's an email address. And I've already sent him an email. I was quite nice, but I was very direct to it. And also asked him to give me an email back, please. So let's see what it goes from there. Basically told him I wish he, as a Republican myself, wish that he did not propose this bill, did not follow through with this bill, did not give it a reading, and basically abandon it and leave it the way that it is. Because this state also, I looked up something else here. This is the Black Wall Street Times. Accesses the new civil rights. But basically, it's got an article on it. And let's see here. We can play it, or I can read some of it to you. This bill is meant to protect the privacy of government workers, prohibits posting a video or photo of a police officer with threatening intent. Now, I think they're going to talk about it a little bit here down below, but if they don't, I want to get this out. The intent of that is determined. Oh, it says it on the next line. I apologize. Woo. It's been a long night, guys. It's like midnight for me. Its intent is determined by a judge or prosecutor. So that's crazy. The ACLU and other groups opposed to the bill. HB, and then this is what I was going to talk about here. 1643 was signed by Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt at the end of May 2021 and takes effect November 1st, 2021. So it's already in effect, that law, HP 1643. And how they did that is that they used a bill in the House and a bill in the Senate, the state Senate and the state House, House Bill 2273 and State Senate Bill 6, to cover for this House Bill 1643. They snuck it in, basically. And that's what this talks about, if you want to go to it. State representatives unanimously passed House Bill 2273 out of the House Judiciary Criminal Committee. It makes a criminal out of anybody who intentionally publishes personally identifiable information of a law enforcement officer, such as a photo or video, with the intent to threaten, intimidate, harass, or stalk, according to the bill's text. The bill would create a misdemeanor charge for the first violation and a felony for any further violations that causes, attempts to cause, or would be reasonably expected to cause substantial, here we go, feelings, emotional distress, or financial loss to the law enforcement officer or the family, household member, or intimate partner of the law enforcement officer. Notably, that the bill considers personally identifiable information, mixes in the reasonable with the extreme. Along with the name, birth date, and address, it lists phone number, driver's license number, social security number, place of employment number, and mother's maiden name as items that it would be banned from being made public by civilians. Really? Okay. At the end of the list, it includes a photograph or any other realistic likeness of the person. Companion bills moving forward in Oklahoma legislature. I don't want to read that. Both Senate Bill 6 and House Bill 2273 ended up being used as a cover for HB 1643, which took on the same language of the other two bills. Republican legislators sailed it through, and there was next to nothing preventing the governor from signing the new legislation into law, which he did on May 1st, 2021, and went into law November 1st. They also say that some Dems even voted yes for this, two of them. Michael Brooks and Kevin Matthews, both senators. But now Kevin Matthews responded, said that he no longer supported the bill and would vote no when it came to the Senate floor. Kevin Matthews is founder and chairman of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre Centennial Commission. My specific question was, does this include videotaping officers, such as the George Floyd incident? The author stated no, it did not. Matthews said in an email defending his initial vote. Matthews said that he and his Democratic colleagues voted out of the interest of privacy and safety. He said they couldn't find any negative statements from the ACLU at that time, unlike now. But they talk about this whole American Civil Liberties Union response to it, the ACLU of Oklahoma. And that's it on that one. But yeah, guys, so this state is already known for basically having laws that very, very, very much cut into our First Amendment rights. And if this bill goes through and if they try to sneak it in and it gets signed into a law somehow, that is going to be crazy. So basically, anybody that says that they're press, like we do now, because we are, as an individual, picking up a phone, picking up a camera, filming our government rights, our government during its duties for our rights, is just crazy. We need to stop this, and hopefully this gets out a little bit more, and hopefully we had some good conversations in the chat, because I am going to go ahead, now that I'm done with this, make this a premiere tomorrow, the 23rd of January. And I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Y'all have a good one. And we're going to be out. Just keep this in mind, guys. Peace.
In my opinion, this proposed bill applies to only the real media, not these pretend journalists that call themselves First Amendment auditors. But of course, they are up in arms over this because they either really believe they are journalists, because, that's what Long Island Audit tells them, or they know they're full of shit, but are up in arms at the prospect of having to actually be treated like real journalists who have to follow rules. I'll post a link to the full text of the proposed bill in the description so you can read it in its entirety. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.